Hello, welcome to the Detailed Show. My name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. In this show, we host journalists who have done solution stories in areas of environment, health, and issues affecting vulnerable communities. In today's edition, we have Christine Kabazira. She is a young journalist, a writer, a student, and a Media Challenge Fellowship alumni. She has done a couple of stories, but she always loves to major in human interest stories. So today, it is Christine on the bench. You don't want to miss this one. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Edgar.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Did I pronounce it right? Kabazira?
Yeah, Christine
Okay.
Kabazira.
All right. So you okay?
Yeah,
It's
I'm
been
okay.
a while.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. So tonight it's an audio-visual version. We are streaming both on visual and radio. Mostly the Digital Report has been always about the audio part. But tonight it's audio-visual. That's a kudos to our producer. But let's go into the story. You did a story about how women are fighting gender-based violence with commercial vegetable farming. How was it?
Interesting.
Okay.
So let me just tell you about the story.
Yeah.
The story, Fighting Gender-Based Violence with Commercial Vegetable Farming, is a story I did from Nakivale refugee settlement, which is in Isinjiro district in the southwestern part of Uganda. Now, women, not just women, but refugees, and not just refugees, but survivors of gender-based violence are recruited and taught or trained how to grow vegetables and how to maintain them. And they make money out of that. And that to me was empowering. That to me was interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, seeing women coming out of such an experience, you'd think that it would break them, but it's not breaking them. It's giving them an opportunity to try out things. So when they are trained, they make money and they support the family, and that's how they are trying to end gender-based violence in the settlement.
Okay, you talked about it's also a safe refuge at the same time as business, but I'm looking at what really interested you, like when you saw this and you're like, let me do this story. What is that that thing that interested you in this particular topic?
One, solutions.
Yes, solutions.
I am a solutions-oriented journalist. I love to write about solutions, to document solutions instead of just, pointing out the problems. I love to look at another angle of the story to see what's being done about this problem. So when COVID-19 broke out, there were cases of gender-based violence raising so highly. And when I did the interview, when I interviewed one of the partners that is recruiting these women, they told me in 2016 there were around 10,048 cases of gender-based violence in the settlement. So I wanted to know, so what are you doing about this? And this was the solution. And that to me was very interesting because, like I told you, I look for the solutions. So seeing women and men working together to fight something that's being faced by both of them, that to me was a highlight.
You talked about the husband's side of the story. Did you get one?
Oh no. So the story, how I did the story was not just me waking up and, traveling to Nakivale and shooting. I was on a mission with the UN. The UN resident coordinator, Her Excellency Rosa Malango, was going to the western part of Uganda to see what the UN agencies are implementing in regards to the COVID critical programs. So when we went to the site, we visited so many sites, but this one in particular derived my interest. So because we were not, I wasn't really set to do that story initially. I didn't carry out enough interviews that I should have done. So one of them is the husbands. I didn't interview their husbands, but the good thing is that there are men too working with them, not necessarily their husbands, but also men who have also gone through, who have been victims of GBV. Okay, you talked about that men and you didn't get their versions of the thing. Apart from that, are there any other challenges you faced when you're doing this story? Oh, yeah. First, the time, like I told you, because it wasn't on my schedule to go and do the story. So timing. And of course, if you want to do such a story, you want all the details. You want to interview any source that's related to that story. But because of the time, I couldn't do that. Okay. Then the other thing, because I'm an upcoming journalist, I'm a young journalist, I'm still in school, I don't have all the equipment that any other journalist would have wanted. So I would have done a lot better if I had maybe a personal camera. I would have done better if I had my own tripod. But that's not to say that I can't do anything with what I have, because I did this with my own phone. Okay. So there's a challenge, but then there's a way how it can be solved.
We'll first go for a short commercial break. Remember the detailed report. We bring stories that are solution-oriented, that tackle the challenges that are facing the community, and we bring the journalists and get their side of the story. They tell us what they feel about the story they did. Do you have a favorite song?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have.
What would that be?
There's this song called El Shaddai by a group of guys, Heart the Band. Okay. It's a really nice song. It's a gospel nice song.
I'll drop you El Shaddai, and when we come back, we are looking at the impact of the project and the story she did to the community, to herself, and any other individuals. Let's go for a short commercial break. My name is Edgar.
And I'm never lonely. I'm in for such an awesome love. He is an awesome God, and I wanna tell it to the world. Ili wajue ni wewe, kama si wewe basi nani? Asikia landlord ako kwa njia anataka kodi, ni wewe uta provide. Na nina ngori moyoni zinanijaza wori, ila nitakuwa fine. El Shaddai, uko na kile minadai, ulinipenda hata kama misifai. El Shaddai, El Shaddai, El Shaddai, uko na kile minadai, ulinipenda hata kama misifai. El Shaddai, El Shaddai, El Shaddai.
All right, welcome back to the detailed report. Remember, my name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. We just listened to El Shaddai as requested by Christine. Yeah, it's a very beautiful song. Okay, as before we dive into the impact, we're going to play the video version of Christine's story. Let's watch this bit and then we'll come back with the impact, right? Okay.
Nukuvuga ngo tukaba tugeze ku mutungo wa miliyoni, uyu musimu twasaruye miliyoni 8 n'ibihumbi 680.
Last season, we harvested 8.6 million Uganda shillings. We have bought a water pump and a pipe for our project. We have also bought goats worth 4.5 million Uganda shillings. We have a SACCO called Adele, and we have 6 million on the account. The money from the SACCO helps us to run the day-to-day activities of the project and to also pay school fees for our children.
To you as an individual, what do you think what impact did it create?
So first of all, the fact that at this project, there is both women and men working together, that alone creates a very big impact, because it shows that there's need for both women and men to work together to create solutions to these problems. Gender-based violence is sometimes looked at to be something that's only faced by women, that only women are the victims. But here, 10 men plus 20 women were recruited this year, and they're working together. They're both learning together, and they're making money together. So that shows that women and men are working together. And to me, the impact is that the society now knows that men are also playing a role, and that they're also not being left out when it comes to providing solutions.
What exactly do these women do? What plants do they grow? What exactly is done in these projects?
Okay, so when they leave their homes early morning, they go to the project. They go to the greenhouse project. So they grow tomatoes, they grow onions, they grow watermelon, they grow beetroots, they grow eggplants. That's what they grow.
Okay.
And so when the crops are ready and they are already harvested, the women get someone to take them to the market. Okay, one of the challenges they are facing is that the market is really far from them, but they take it to the market. And when they sell, they always save the money. They have a circle where they save the money. And at the time when I interviewed the chairperson, they had 6 million on the circle. 6 million, they had earned 8 million. Just in 2019, they had earned 8 million. So they put 6 million on their circle. And these women and men do not just work, do not just learn. At the end of the day, they sell their products, they make money, and they are taking children to school. They are providing basic needs. Okay. So the impact is that it's improving their livelihoods.
You're talking about gender-based violence, but in your story, we don't see the stakeholders, the main stakeholders of this story. We don't see the women who have been violated, their gender and what their challenges. We have not heard their voice. We just listened to the chairperson talk. Why didn't you include the women in this particular, story?
I must say I should have had more voices. I have voices of authorities, the people that started the project and what they think the project is and how it has helped the women. I have the voice of the United Nations resident coordinator, and she's giving her recommendations. She's promising to ensure that these women and their project is included on the market. But I should say, and thank you for pointing that out, I should say I should have had more women because I only have their chairperson. I should have had more women to talk about their experiences. But like I told you, we were just visiting sites and it was the time. Okay. Time is actually the only problem, but I should have done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, is there anything new you have for us? Any solutions, any story, anything that we should look out for?
Oh yeah, I have quite a number of them.
Okay.
I have worked still with the UN in Karamoja, and I have come up with quite a number of solution stories, very, very interesting and heartwarming stories that you could also read. And I'm not giving up. And there are solutions every day. People come up with solutions every day. So there's no way I am stopping now. Yeah.
Thank you for coming to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of this particular edition of the Detailed Report. I'm just reminding you that there are over 10,000 cases that have been recorded of gender-based violence. This is a serious issue and we really need to tackle it. Everybody, it is our own initiative. We shouldn't wait for the government to help us do this particular thing. It is our own initiative. And yes, it will be an honor if everyone and all of us take part in fighting gender-based violence. You can still follow us on our Facebook page. It is at The Detailed Report on Facebook, and Twitter, it is at The Detailed Report. My name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. Wait out for the next episode. It has to be interesting. Today we had Christine Kabazira. Next time, we never know who we have.